Stove or cold soak?
I started out with a stove because I had some dehydrated meals I wanted to try and some I had prepared myself, and was considering switching to cold soaking. Had kind of thought about it beforehand, and was seeing other people do it, so I got ideas of what like food other people were making. And then one of my first nights in the Sierra, I left my stove in a bear can or in a bear box. So I took that as a sign. I was like, that's the universe telling me, I didn't realize until like a full day later. So I was like, it's someone else's now. Hopefully it's not just sitting there. But I took that as a sign to try cold soaking, and yeah, switched over and liked it. Like I was saying, a lot of, for me, like the variety of the food I was getting was coming from my snacks and things like that. And so I was totally fine going, pretty much couscous or ramen for dinner every single night. But other than that, like I didn't really, for other meals, I wasn't like cooking anyway. And then it wasn't too big of an issue not having hot food. I think that was what I was concerned about, and what, some people are like, oh, I really want a hot coffee in the morning. There were a couple times friends gave me who did have stoves and were making coffee in like that last week or so in Washington when it was cold and wet, gave me like a hot coffee in the morning, which was super nice. But other than that, yeah, I really liked cold soaking. And now back in my normal life, I'm trying to like avoid the foods that I would have eaten. So I don't like, because I didn't really get tired of them on trail, but I don't like want to get tired of them so I can keep eating them on any future journeys.
Right, because it works.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's interesting. I know if people do try cold soaking on the PCT, like this was me, they
Mhm.
start out cold soaking in the desert and then they switch over in the Sierra, but you did the opposite.
Yeah.
You started with the stove and you switched over in the Sierra to
Mhm.
cold soaking. So how that's so interesting. And it
Yeah.
worked out well for you. You didn't get a stove. You didn't buy one in town or buy one
Mhm.
in Washington. You kept going with it. So very interesting. And that's why
Yeah.
that's why we asked this question.
So yeah, I would definitely tell people like give it a shot. And it definitely, I think people do that, like you're saying, because it doesn't make sense to have your hot food in the hottest part of the trail. But it just was what made sense for me in terms of like the dehydrated meals that I already had, and knowing that I didn't want to necessarily like mail so many things ahead of me from like bulk things I had ordered before. I wanted to just start off with them and figure out what I liked and things like that. Um, so yeah, I recommend people give it a shot. If you don't like it, then it's, buying a stove after the fact, and, cold soaking doesn't have any startup to begin, apart from a Talenti jar usually.
Right. And you get to eat the whole jar. So that's a
Yeah.
bonus.
Yeah. And for me, I got to eat it while I was on trail. So I, really enjoyed my mango sorbet, I think it was.
Nice. Oh, that sounds so good. Yeah, and can I geek out with you for a second about like
Yeah.
vegan options? So have
Mhm.
you tried, and I know this is a question that I get from a lot of hikers is how can I be vegan on trail?
Mhm.
Have you heard of outdoor herbivore?
I have, yeah. And
Okay.
especially like for someone who's thinking they're going to have a stove, or knows they're going to, I've seen like I almost ordered, they have like some different like gift packs and variety packs and stuff like that do look really good, but I haven't actually tried any of their stuff. But um yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid for this or anything. I just love this product, or I love this brand. And we've done like a giveaway with them before and
Oh,
stuff, but I
nice.
had a lot of their meals in the desert section, cold soak specifically. So, like on their website, you can look for cold soak specific items, and they were all so good. There was like a quinoa one, there was a salad, like
Ooh.
the Pacific Crest Trail salad, I think it's called, was really good. So, yeah, so many things you can cold soak on there. And I know, you're vegan. A lot of people have questions about like, how can I be vegan on trail? And this is kind of a splurge,
Mhm.
because it's backpacking meal, and a lot of hikers don't do backpacking meals when they're hiking a long trail. But I kind of threw a couple in my boxes for my mom to send all throughout the trail. There was like a treat. So anyway, I
Mhm.
just was curious to see if you heard about them because they
Yeah.
do like vegan and cold soak compatible and also stove compatible. Um, so anyway, I just love their stuff. So I was curious.
Yeah.
But
Food for the Soul is another one. I think they're smaller. I
yes.
think they're out of Bend. And they have, I think their stuff is all vegan, and a lot of it will work for cold soaking, but they also have like, again, like things that they know will work really well for cold soaking. A lot of like, they have like a broccoli slaw. I've had like a newer like ratatouille that they do have really good stuff, and they'll like label what they think will work really well cold soaking versus boiling water. They're really good.
Nice. Yeah, I'm glad you brought them up.
Mhm.
I met them at PCT days. They had a booth in 2019. And so I bought some of their stuff because I was so impressed. And the broccoli slaw was
Yeah.
so good.
Mhm.
All of their stuff was good, but specifically that one, I was like, oh, I got to buy more of this. So that's a
Mhm.
great, thank you for bringing that up. I love that company too.